Kathie J Show. I'm your host, Kathie J. I say it every day, but thank you so much for spending this half hour with us. We're working hard to bring you topics that you really care about. It means the world to us that you continue the conversation after the show, during the show, wherever you want to. We're catching up with you on social media, and we love everything you're saying. I just wanted to give a shout out to everybody out there going through physical therapy, because yesterday was my first PT day, and I am so sore today. I can't even believe it. The physical therapist, did you know 25% of our bones are just in our feet? So I'm trying to rewalk everything on this foot. So just bear with me, everybody, as we make it. But every day you get a little better and you get a little stronger. And that's kind of what today's show is about. You can change yourself, everybody. So while we're continuing our month-long focus on women who are making history, the woman who I'm profiling today, she has done it all. She is a successful personal organizer who built her business from the ground up 15 years ago, everybody. Please welcome Lee Dyer to the show. Yay, Lee! She's doing it. I have so many questions for you.
I'm ready.
She's here, everybody. Okay, so first off, how did you discover this gift of organizing? Because it's a gift.
It is. I think it is an innate gift, because really when I go into a client's home, I actually see the project already done. And then somehow it filters into what do we do next and what do we do next. And it breaks down in my head.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that is, and then also my mom was organized. She created systems. Montessori school created systems. So I grew up with systems, realized how valuable they were,
yeah,
and then really started to see my gift and implement that.
Okay, yeah, because you were a hustler growing up. Before you landed 15 years ago building this business, you kind of did everything.
I did everything. I was just grinding to make the rent, really.
Everyone is. You know, 3-4 jobs is not uncommon, especially when you're doing dog sitting jobs and those kind of things.
Yeah.
And that's what you were doing.
Yeah, dog sitting, babysitting, assisting in catering. Like, it didn't matter if somebody called me and said, could you do this? If I was capable, I would do it.
And then when was your first job where you were like, oh, I have a gift. I have a gift for this organizing stuff.
I met someone who was my mentor, and we'll talk about her later probably.
Yes,
but she came in, and I found out that she was a professional organizer, and I didn't know that was a job outside of television.
Yeah, right.
And so I thought, I want to do that. And so I stalked her, and she ignored me.
Yes.
And she sent me a job that was a pro bono job for her, which she didn't want to do for no money. And I did an incredible job.
Yeah.
And they told her, and she helped me.
And so we're going to get into her a little bit further after the commercial break. But yeah, the fact that you were so resilient and persistent with her is awesome. But the boundaries that you said, it's really important, everybody, that the hardest thing for us to do is set boundaries, because you wanted to take all that work coming in. And you finally had to say, this is how I get my life back.
Absolutely. You take everybody, and you pick up the phone and they've called and you're like, I don't think so. But you say yes, and you get there, and it's pretty miserable.
Oh, I know it's in my house. I see people's garages when they're open when I'm driving past their house. You know, people have their entire front porches now filled with stuff. So it's amazing what we've done to ourselves out there.
Yes.
And it's emotional as well.
Everything.
And that's what we're going to get into, everybody. In addition to being a successful businesswoman, Lee is also very passionate about empowering other women. And that comes with a lot of your emotional, resilience, everybody. So when we come back, we're going to talk to her about that. Kathie J. The Colorado Lottery is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Colorado Lottery, play on. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show. So today, our woman making history is Lee Dyer. Yay! And her business, perfect name for your business.
Thank you.
In Dire Need, indireneed.org. All right, so Lee, you help people get organized.
I do.
Thank God, God bless you. Especially women who need it, but you say it's about also empowering the women. Where does that come into play?
Absolutely. I am so passionate about your house not running you, that you get to run your house. And when your house is something that just kind of flows and is a plus and add to your life, then you have time to do the things that you want to do, these extra things. Most women are just so busy trying to stay on top of everything that they don't have time to even think about, what would I like to do?
You're absolutely right. And it's the difference between men that will pay somebody to mow their lawn so they can go golfing or something, right? I mean, why don't we have the same mentality? Pay someone to help me make sure that the house is running smoothly, good energy. I walk into my house and I automatically feel heavy because of, I know that this needs to get fixed and this, and that's been on my to-do list for a year.
Yes.
And that's not empowering at all.
Not at all.
The house is running me.
Right. And when I work with people, I actually pull out a list and we start writing down, or you can put it in their phone, like, these are all the things that need to be taken care of. And then, I actually sometimes even make them call the handyman on the spot.
Wow.
And set that up, because it's been bugging them. There are these little things in the back of your head that take up brain space that I don't want to forget that still needs to be fixed. Every time you look at it, it's a little in your stomach of like, I need to take care of this.
Your house reminds you that you're a loser, that you're lazy, that that's how I feel when I walk in.
Absolutely.
Like, great house, now you're reminding me I still haven't called ADT to fix that battery. Simple things.
Simple things. And when your house, when the little things, just the laundry's picked up and the systems are in place, you feel better and you have brain space to remember to do those things.
Yes.
And then when you walk in, your house can be a place of comfort and support for you.
Lee, it sounds beautiful, but it's really hard to do it. But you have organizing tips for us.
I have great organizing
We wouldn't let you come
tips.
here without some tips. All right. All right. So tell people how they can declutter. What do you got?
Okay.
Wow, this is amazing. There's a pantry that you attacked.
Yeah. And that, it doesn't take very long. And, save your money and just bring somebody in for 4 hours if you don't want to tackle it yourself. But if you do want to tackle it yourself, then I would say pull everything, get all the likes with likes together in your house. Once you have them out in front of yourself or in front of you, you look at them and you think, oh my God, I don't need 14 pairs of scissors.
Right.
How many do you need? How many pairs of scissors does a reasonable person have? Probably 4.
Maybe 4.
So donate and purge. And then once you have your set that you want to keep, then go in and put it away according to usage. And then the way you do that is the A space things, the things that you're using every single day, your toothbrush and your coffee maker and those types of things that you're going to touch every morning, every day. You put those in your A space. A space is something that you just grab. You don't even have to like bend or anything. You just grab it. It's in the A space. The B space stuff is stuff that you're using. You know what? We make pancakes. We make waffles every Sunday morning. So you know what? You might put that way up high or way down low to where you have to scrunch down or stretch a little to grab it.
But why do I want to do that when the pancake and the flour and all that's right here?
Well, maybe the pancake and the flour should be a little bit higher.
Okay, and the stuff I'm using every day needs to be right here.
Exactly, and the coffee needs to be there, and the cereal needs to be there.
And that's just about like making just things convenient that makes your life easier that you're not really even aware of. Flow.
You're creating flow. And then C space, you've got your Christmas dishes sitting in front of your coffee cups that you're using every day. And so C space items go in the basement, they go in the garage, they go in tubs, they go on shelves. They get out of your A space. And what I really like, my clients are always telling me, what is this C thing doing blocking my A space?
I love that. We're all going to start talking like that.
Exactly.
All right, don't go away, everybody. So when we come back, Lee's going to tell us about her female mentors and why they were so instrumental in her success. Thank you, Lee. Kathie J. Oakwood Homes is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Oakwood Homes, building happiness. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I think I'm going to be hiring Lee. Lee owns her own personal organizing business, and she says she couldn't have done it without 3 women in her life. All of them have been her mentors as she built her dream. Like 15 years ago is when you started. That's amazing. Now, why were these women so important to your success?
The original person that I met, that I spoke of, I wouldn't be here without her. She is...
This is Liz, right?
This is Liz, and she, we kind of grew up in this business together a little bit. She was a little bit established, but then I was her first person that she mentored, and she went on to mentor many, many others.
That's amazing. So she never really planned on mentoring you. She just had her organizing business, and you wouldn't leave her alone.
Exactly.
And it turned into a mentor, right?
It did, and a great friendship.
That's awesome. And she taught you what to do and what not to do.
Absolutely. Like we would go out on, she learned how to use a contractor in me. She learned how to kind of structure her business with contractors. But really, she taught me most of the basics of organizing that weren't already innate within me.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So your next one is Sally. Mentor Sally.
Sally has had a business forever. She has since retired, and she hired me as a contractor, and I worked mostly under Sally for 3 years, and she really had such an established business that it was good for me to see what an established business looked like and how to. She would just send me out on the jobs, and I would be doing the work, and she would be handling the business side, which at the time I had no idea how to do that.
Business side of a business is a monster, everybody.
is.
It's one thing to look cute and happy and do the work, but
Absolutely.
the business with the money and all that, yes, it's insane. So Sally taught you the business side.
Absolutely.
And the managing of that.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then we have Margie.
Margie, yeah. Margie and I worked, Margie had a background in counseling, and so we actually went into some hoarding situations.
Ooh.
And I would be the feet on the ground, and Margie would work directly with the client, and she would help the client with the emotional piece and processing through. You really don't want to go into a hoarder's house without a counselor.
You're right.
Because it's not about the stuff for them.
It's so emotional.
Afterwards, she would explain to me why this was going on. It was really good for me to see the extreme so that I could look at this on a lesser level when I was working with clients that aren't as extreme.
Right, because the last thing I need you doing is rolling your eyes when I'm telling you that little bunny means so much to me.
No, we are so not judgmental.
But it has to be hard because I've seen the hoarder shows and I'm like, it's a pizza box, get rid of it, and we hold on to the weirdest things. Some of them, yes, they're important.
Yes.
But in the end of the day, how do we know it's important? How do we let go of that emotional baggage?
Well, as an organizer, we come in with so much compassion for your attachment to these things.
Good.
But we really use some logic too to think about, are you using this? Have you seen it? It was buried at the bottom of a box for 30 years, and now you're telling me it means a lot to you? It doesn't mean that much to you.
Right.
You haven't seen it.
But I've known that it's in that box. I've known if I ever wanted to see that, it's in that box.
Well, sometimes what happens is there will be a flood. There will be some of that stuff gets destroyed just naturally.
You're right. You love it so much that you don't even have it protected if it gets damaged. Right.
Absolutely.
And that is the problem so much with my stuff too. And now talk about the 7-year itch. That's real.
It's real.
Wow.
It's it's not just relationships, it's business too. You're kind of going through and you hit your 7 years. I hired a business coach at 7 years, and she helped me to raise my pricing and to really see my value and my worth. It was tough to raise my pricing because I was like, who's going to pay this?
Right.
But that was really helpful to me to shift there. And then in my second 7-year itch, I really brought in a different clientele.
Oh.
I really just wanted the people that were specifically my people.
Okay, what does that mean?
We line up. We line up in our thinking. We line up in the fact that we work really well together. We have some of the same expectations. We're on the same page. They're not fighting me.
Yeah, because you expect a little bit of fighting when you're going into something, right?
There's pushback.
Pushback,
Yes.
not fighting, but yes, there's going to be pushback.
Yeah.
And we had to get rid of my makeup last week with Michael Moore,
Yes.
and it was things that I hadn't used in so long, but I still had problems getting rid of it because I spent the money and hadn't used it.
Absolutely.
That was killing me.
And that's a regret that people have.
Explain that's why we don't want to get rid of something with a tag on it and stuff.
It's
failure?
It's failure. You made a mistake.
Yeah, I did. I made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, and you don't want to believe that you made a mistake. And if you hang on to it, then it's not really a mistake.
Right, because someday I'll get to it and it'll
might.
come through and I'll be able to wear it.
Right, exactly. Wear it or use it or whatever.
Right.
And if you get rid of it, if it goes away, you have to admit to yourself that there was a small failure.
Right. But if it goes away, eventually I'll get over it, and now I have more space in my flow in my house.
Well, and also, there's not a bunch of stuff that you're not using, cluttering up your life that you should be using.
Right, and that's right. So That is the hard thing, and then you don't feel that heaviness when you walk in your house.
Well, and you feel bad about yourself every time you look at that product.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit bad about yourself.
I do, but I feel that it's. You're right. My house reminds me that I've let myself down.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that when I walk in.
Right.
Do you think it's best for me to already have a place where I'm going to donate my stuff before I start doing stuff? Does that help my mind?
It does. It's been a little bit difficult with COVID because
everybody donated.
Everybody donated. Everybody cleaned out, and a lot of people stopped accepting donations.
Right.
And so people do want their stuff to go to a place where it will be used.
Right.
Because then it is a little less of a mistake.
Right. Now it can keep living, or someone else can enjoy that.
Yeah, a new life.
So it's not wrong for us to want a location when we start cleaning. It helps our mindset.
Absolutely.
Okay, whatever empowers me, I'm down, Lee.
Absolutely.
All right, so having amazing female mentors has been very important to Lee and myself. I mean, to a lot of women out there. God bless all of you women that are mentors and have helped some other woman come up. But knowing your self-worth, that's important as well, everybody. So when we come back, we're going to get into that. Kathie J. Ramos Law is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. He's a medical doctor and a lawyer. Ramos Law, what makes us different makes us better. Thanks for being with us this half hour, everybody. You know, having success in life means you got to understand your self-worth. It starts there. Lee, that was a hard lesson to understand. Why?
I think women in general have a problem with self-worth.
I agree.
I think that just old ways make it so that women, they were at home, they were taking care of the kids, they were doing all the cooking, they were doing the laundry. And then when we started working, we didn't give up a lot of those.
Still had to do all that.
And we don't want to do anything like wrong. We want to do it all really well.
Right.
And it's really hard to do all those things well when you're working 40 hours a week.
Because if you're doing all those things really well, you yourself are dying.
You are dying.
Because there's no way that you can give 100% to all that. And that's the biggest thing that I think people need to accept is there's better ways to make your life and your home and everything flow. And you got to let go of other things. Yeah. I really have to joke real fast because people told you that you need to get a real job when you were saying you were a professional organizer.
Yeah, when I first started, I had somebody say, why don't you just go get a real job?
Oh my gosh.
And I was struggling. I was having all those other jobs, but I knew that I really had to give this 120% before I tried to give up on it because it was in my soul.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know that there's so many people out there that need you. I need you. I need you.
I know. I'm ready. I'm ready.
But you said everybody out there, Lee says you can start small. Small things can make a big difference in your house. What do you suggest there?
I always say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You start with
elephants. But you're right.
It depends. If you have a lot of visual clutter, go ahead and start and clear off some counter space and like leave the drawers and everything to yourself. But if your visual clutter is not so bad, start with a drawer a day. Start with a shelf a day.
Okay.
And then in a month, you've got your kitchen pretty well dialed in.
Do I start with this is throw, this is donate, this is keep? Do I do that? How everybody starts? Do you have to organize before you start organizing?
You can if you want, or you can just open your junk drawer, sort them into the pens, pencils, rubber bands, whatever. Make homes for them within that drawer. Close that drawer, and when you get to the next drawer and there's pens, pencils, rubber bands, and that, join them into the first one. But little by little, just do one drawer, one shelf. And most of the time what you'll see is, I just need to throw a bunch of this out.
Yes, so many, yes. What about trinkets and stuff that all of us have that we give? She rolls her eyes. But this is the cup I won at the 4th of July.
Oh my gosh.
I put a dime in it.
Yes.
What do you do with all that? How do you know what's sentimental and what's not?
Unfortunately, I have to tell people that a lot of times the stuff that comes into your house was trash when it came into your house.
Boo! Ouch! Don't say that. But
well, it's little things, especially where I really feel this is kids' toys.
Yes.
The little thing they get from the dentist, the little bag of toys.
Yes.
And it's fine that they have it, but they can't keep it forever.
No.
It's things from the dollar store. Like that,
okay,
that
you're right.
really
It was junk
is
coming in.
junk
I know exactly
coming
what you're
in.
saying.
Yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
I'm not talking about the sentimental things. I'm talking about how much of that stuff, how much of the little tiny smaller than a quarter things do your kids have that are making your life insane?
But you know what I do? I put all those together and put those in a baggie for them. Right. And then the baggie just gets sent to you, Dad.
And then they dump it out,
right.
And then they're everywhere.
And you know what? It's so important out there, moms, everybody. Lee really wants to make sure, don't lose yourself, moms, because we are doing so much for everybody else. Yeah. Start with your own stuff. You know, like, get your creativity back. Accomplish your own goals for yourself.
And assign your children jobs. Like, start this process, and then as you're starting it, teach them as you're going along and help them create systems and help them participate.
Yes.
I work with so many moms that do everything for everybody, and they're not doing their kids any favors. I've worked with 18, 20-year-olds that are out in the world that don't know how to do anything.
No, you're absolutely right. Don't enable your kids, everybody. You have to let them know. Like, Lee is the way she is because her mom made her organize her life. Yeah. So to connect with Lee, everybody, please go to her website, indireneed.org. Now, Lee doesn't need any new clients, but you can find so many professional organizers out there. It starts between like $40 and $150. It could be your hourly rate.
Yes.
But it saves your space in your head, everybody.
Yeah.
indireneed.org, everybody. Thank you, Lee, so much for being here.